Hi, I'm Chris Ryan and welcome to my coaching studio. So just a little bit of information as to why we are in this studio, not out on the golf course filming a video. So we have got some snow here in the UK at the moment. Everywhere is pretty much covered. The temperature is kind of still -1, -2, which means that snow is not going anywhere. Now, normally early part of the week is when I get out onto the golf course and I create the content and the videos for YouTube and Instagram. The weather has obviously made that very, very difficult. The courses are all closed, can't get out there. So I thought I would do, a slightly different video just to make use of the time where we can't get on the course. So I posted on Instagram if anybody had any questions that they would like me to answer. It didn't have to be related to the golf swing, just generally golf related would be fine. I would answer a few of those. And this video is also going to be a chance for me to let you know about some things that are going to be happening in 2018 on my channel, which hopefully you will like, but I would also like a little bit of feedback from yourself. So thank you to all of you who did make a comment on Instagram. Hopefully we will get to your question today. If you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you do, and also Facebook and Twitter, because there are things going on over there. So let's just go through a couple of these questions. We're going to get as many answers as we can, and as I say, there's going to be some things I want to let you know about 2018, which I may well need your help for. So this I thought was a fantastic question. This is from the Crest Coyote. These are all on Instagram. And his question says, what do you want to see the putter head do when you take it away? I'm guessing it should go slightly inside, but it doesn't necessarily feel that natural. Now, the rules of golf govern how the golf clubs can be made. And there are some rules and regulations as to how the putters need to be built. What that means is there is always going to be a lie angle. There's always going to be an angle between the bottom of the putter and the club shaft. That pretty much dictates that the golf club has to swing on a slightly inside arc. The only way we could get that putter to move straight back and through would be if the grip of the golf club was directly above the putter head. So if the club shaft ran vertically down. And you don't tend to see that many golfers doing that. You do see some golfers who get fairly close to that. Steve Stricker is a good example of a golfer who tends to get the handle very high, tends to get the grip pretty much in line with the putter head. His putter will therefore tend to move a little bit straighter back, a little bit straighter through with a little bit less club face rotation. Those of you who stand a little bit further away from the golf ball, have the hand a little bit more inside, are going to find that the putter head tends to work a little bit more to the inside, backswing and downswing, and there's also going to be a little bit more club face rotation as well. So in answer to that question, I would say that every single time you hit a putt, there will be some amount of arc in the putter, there will be some amount of opening and closing in the putter head, but it will depend a little bit on your setup and maybe the style of putting you're trying to work towards. So hopefully that helps you there. Right, next question. So there's a good one here. This is a great one. This is from Dylan Young 6216, and I think this is a really good question. Maybe a few answers here. It's not going to be as easy to get across, but we'll try. It says, not a technical question, but should you only work on one swing change at once? And two, should you only move onto another aspect once you are confident you are executing the first change? For example, don't think about the downswing until your backswing is perfect. And that's certainly something that crops up, I think, in lessons a fair bit. Should I work on this before I move on to this thing? And I would say it really depends on the golfer. In many situations, I don't think you can just work on one thing. What you're going to do as a golfer, probably subconsciously, not even something you're thinking about, is you're going to try and find a balance at impact to make that ball go pretty straight. So what I mean by that would be, if I swing very much across to the left of my target, let's say an out to in swing, I will probably also have the club face open to try and make that ball curve back towards my target. So I swing left, I have the face open, I'm trying to create a balance. Now if I go for a lesson and I work on my club path, so I try and swing the golf club a little bit more towards my target, I have to change the club face as well. I have to make another change to make that ball go straight, because if I suddenly just started swinging straight and still left the face open, the ball's going to go further right. So in many cases, there are going to have to be two things that have to be changed simultaneously. I would say the best thing you could do would be go and see a really good PJ Pro who knows about the golf swing, and he can really communicate to you exactly what your golf swing does. I think the best way to go with this is get a really clear understanding of your golf swing, figure out what needs to be worked on. That may well be 1, 2, maybe 3 things that have to be worked on. I would try and get those worked on at once. the way I would think about it is try and attack the things in your golf swing which are going to give you the biggest influence on the ball flight. There's other things around that which you might want to tidy up afterwards to make the golf swing maybe a little bit more consistent or to make it a little bit more repeatable, but find out what is needing to be changed. It may well be that's going to be 1, 2, maybe 3 things, and I think you need to do those at the same time, because those 3 things together is going to be what results in that ball flight. If you work on one thing at a time, very often you don't change the ball flight in a positive way, and then you're not really going to be engaged in those changes because you're not really seeing the results, and it becomes very difficult to motivate yourself during practice. So do what you need to do in your golf swing to make the ball go straight, and then hopefully we can work on all the other things and tidy that up afterwards. Right. So Alexander McLeod 14 wanted to know what is my go-to shot. So we'll talk about the off the tee because that's where I tend to use this shot a little bit more often. For me, driver is a club which can be really, really good and really, really bad. I've been lucky enough to, ever since I've played this game, I've always been someone who can hit the ball a long way. It's luck, touch wood, it doesn't leave me. I've always been able to get, generate a lot of club head speed, a lot of balls being hit the ball a long way. So if I go and play golf and I have a good day with a driver, I really feel like I can shoot a low score because I can go into a lot of the par 5s with mid irons, I can go into the par 4s with short irons. But if I have a bad day with a driver, I can find that it goes a long way offline. I really find that I can struggle. So for me, I do feel like I need to have a go-to shot with the driver when I'm not swinging it that well. And for me, I tend to tee it really low. I tend to aim up the left-hand side, and I try and play what I almost call like a controlled slice. It's effectively a fade, but I aim left of the fairway, tee it down. I feel like I get on top of it, get steep, and I feel like I just leave the face a little bit open, and I tend to hit this little low fade. And I tend to find I can be pretty consistent with that. It probably costs me 25 yards, which is why it wouldn't be my normal shot, because if I use my standard swing with a driver, I can hit the ball further, but that is my go-to shot. Tee the ball low, aim at the left, and just hit like a little fade into play, and I find that's quite useful. Okay, last one is from Martman74, and he says, struggling with keeping my head behind the ball and getting into a proper impact position with forward shaft lean. Any tips? Now, that would suggest to me that it's an impact question. He's asking about impact. He's struggling to keep his head behind the board. He's struggling to get the club shaft forward. Now, the first thing I would say is really, really good that he understands the impact. He understands maybe where his hands need to be, a little bit about maybe attack angle in there. So that's really good. What I would say is there is a very, very good chance that there are going to be things in the swing prior to impact which are creating those things at impact. So it could well be that the grip is a little bit weak. It could well be that the face is a little bit open. There's going to be things that precede the impact which are creating that impact. Very often, I'm obviously trying to speculate here because I haven't seen the golf swing, but club face position with the one thing I would check. If the club face position gets out at all, possibly a little bit open in the golf swing, then you're going to find that you have to make some adjustments down at impact. In order to fix that. Handle being back is one of those. So I would always say look at what we call the first point of breakdown. So a lot of golfers are seeing things in the swing that they don't like, but it could well be that it broke down much earlier than that, maybe in the takeaway, maybe in the backswing, maybe even in the setup. So it's trying to find the first point in your golf swing where things broke down and then it's a chain reaction, and you often see the impact being different, but that's not necessarily the fault. So my advice there would be to try and look at where that golf swing goes wrong in the first place. So that's just a few of the questions that I got via Instagram. I don't want to go on and on and on. I make this video 20 minutes long, so I'm going to stop there. But hopefully some of those are quite interesting. I've not really done any of these Q&A videos before, but it'd be interesting to get your views, whether this was something that you liked. Obviously this one was a little bit forced due to the weather. I couldn't really get out and film, so I thought I would just use that time and do something a little bit different. So just want to talk to you a little bit about going into 2018 on my channel. So if you're a subscriber or if you've watched my channel for a while, you'll hopefully know that I upload videos on a Monday, a Wednesday and a Friday. So 3 videos a week, all at the same time, and all just kind of giving you advice on how you can play better. Into 2018, that is not going to change. Those videos are going to stay the same, so Monday, Wednesday and Friday. But I'm also going to be doing a video on a weekend. I've not decided whether it's going to be a Saturday or a Sunday yet, but it will be released on one of those days each week. And I'm going to try and a little experiment. So I need your feedback for this. I'm going to do this for a couple of weeks, see what the response is like, get some feedback from you, because ultimately this channel is all about helping you to play golf. If this is something that doesn't work for you, absolutely fine, we can look at doing something else. But what I'm going to get you to do is I'm going to get you to, via Instagram or via email, send me your golf swings. It could be a driver swing, it could be an iron swing, it could be a chip, it could be a putt, it could be a bunker, whatever it may be. Send me a video of your golf swing. And then what I'm going to do on a weekend is I'm going to sit in this studio. I'm going to get my analysis software onto my laptop. I'm going to put about 3 or 4 of these golf swings into there. You're going to see that on the screen. I'm just going to run through kind of some advice that I would give to those golfers if I was seeing them in a one-to-one lesson. So for example, let's say you send me your swing in. We're going to do the video in this room. I'm going to load it up. You'll see that on the screen. I'll be able to illustrate what I would change, what I would maybe look at doing, maybe where you need to improve. And we're going to do that for about 3 or 4 people. It's not going to be the most in-depth lesson. We're going to look at maybe 1 minute per person. But I'm really trying to get as many of you, trying to help as many of you as I can in 2018. So if I can do that weekly, if you watch and your swing doesn't come up, and hopefully you think you're going to learn something from maybe some of the other people. You may see someone who has the same problems as you, all that kind of stuff. So all I really need from you is a video of your golf swing and just a little sentence to tell me what you're struggling with. So if it's a driver, to say I'm hooking it. If it's a bunker play, to say you're thinning it, whatever it may be. So just a video of your golf swing and also a little bit of what we need to look at in that swing. Now, to make these videos more interesting, it's probably going to help if we get some videos on pitching, bunkers, putting, irons, whatever it may be. Try and think a little bit outside out of the box rather than just sending me a driver swing, because yes, that's going to be useful, but let's try and make it a little bit more varied. Let's get some different types of shots in there, and hopefully we can give you some advice and help you play some better golf. So that is going to be in 2018. It's going to release on a weekend. I'm probably going to call it something like Subscriber Saturday or Subscriber Sunday. I haven't really decided yet, but that's going to go out on a weekend. And we'll trial that probably through January, so maybe about 4 videos through January. Let me know what you think in the comments box below those videos. And if it's something that you're enjoying and you like, we'll continue with it. If not, then we can look at something else. So thanks for watching. Different video. I say I'm in my studio. It's a little bit warmer in here than it is outside. The snow doesn't look like it's going anywhere. So we need that temperature to get at least into about 3 or 4 degrees so it starts melting, because we're struggling to keep the academy open because we can't get the golf balls in. So hopefully this snow doesn't last too long, and hopefully wherever you are viewing this, you can get out there and play some golf. Thanks for watching. As always, usual stuff is down below. Comments box, like button, subscribe link, all that kind of stuff. Get your videos Instagram over to me. It's Chris Ryan Golf on Instagram, or email me at chris@chrisryangolf.com. And in January, hopefully we can do a little bit of analysis of your golf swing. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.